In spite of the high gas prices, we're gonna go out and have some fun anyway, and we'll show you how.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, gas prices are outrageous, but in this video we're going to talk about how you can still get out on the road and have a good time even with these gas prices. Well, Linda and I are in the pretty little town of Whitehall, Montana. We left this morning after spending several days getting ready.
Yeah, you'd think it would be easy by now, you know, getting ready.
Yes, it seems how we do it so much, but it takes time.
Yeah, you'd think it'd be easy because everything's in a bin or bins or in a drawer. But no, it's not. You have to go through them and make sure everything is fresh, and the outdated stuff from 3 years ago is pitched out, you know, stuff like that.
And then making sure that the car is okay, you know, oil change, tires, tire pressure, trailer's okay, going through all of that. It actually takes us, what, about 3 or 4 days to...
Yeah, don't forget washing the car.
Yeah, but it sure feels good to leave and get back on the road. You know, you don't realize it, but when you're home, there's all that stuff that goes on every day. There's the lawn that needs mowed. The flower beds need weeded. I know my house needs painted. That's weighing over my head like a bucket of paint. People dropping by, appointments, doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, on and on. Every day you wake up to a whole list of things you need to do. But when you hit the road, it all changes, and it changes quick. When you hit the road, everything becomes more concentrated. The only thing that matters is what's immediately around you. All that other stuff from being back home, you leave that all behind. That's its own pile of rubble back there. But being on a road takes on a certain rhythm, and it takes a couple days to get into that rhythm. Instead of all that other stuff, now it's filling the gas tank, making sure your food and water is at a good level all the time. When to stop for lunch, where to stop for lunch, is it time for coffee? It's all those things. It becomes a daily routine. From the time you get up in the morning to the time you go to bed, it all becomes like a routine again. And it's so nice to settle into that, but it is its own rhythm. Well, down here is a gas station, and I can read the sign from here, and it's really high. It's astronomically high. It's the highest I've ever seen it in my lifetime. For the past couple of months, Linda and I have been doing short trips from home because of the high gas prices. And I did a bike trip here just a week ago, same thing, just because it's been expensive. But we've been saving our money. We've been saving your money. Every donation that you've given us, we've saved until we got a kitty and we could afford to do this trip. If it wasn't for you guys, we couldn't afford to do this at all. So thank you very, very much. But that being said, let me tell you how we're doing this trip. Well, Linda's in here making lunch, and that's one of the things we'll be doing a lot of on this trip. Well, first of all, because gas is so expensive, we're not going to be doing the type of road trip that we like to do, which is just like 1 or 2 nights at each spot and move on. We love just to go down the road again. This time, we'll be heading down to some central area and staying there in that one area and ranging out from one location. We'll be doing more of that. It's going to be expensive for us to get there because we're going to be driving, well, from central Montana down to north central Nevada. That's where we're going. And so the big expense is going to be gas. But what we're changing is we're not going to be eating out as much as we used to. Like, it's when you're on the road and you just need to stop and get something, it's so much more convenient just to swing into McDonald's. You know, that's always 20 some bucks or something like that right there. Much cheaper just to make some sandwiches. So we're going to be doing a lot more of that for sure. And I've only been traveling at 55 miles an hour because if I do 65, my mileage goes from 12 down to 10. So I need that extra 2 miles per gallon, and I get that by driving a little slower. Tire pressure is critical. Bump it up just a little bit so you have a little harder tire. It'll give you a little better mileage on the road. Well, this channel has always been about traveling on a budget. I mean, that's what we've always talked about, doing things for yourself and traveling inexpensively. And boy, now that's more important than ever. On this trip, we won't be stopping for coffee. We'll be making our own. And I already mentioned we'd be making all of our own meals. and just stopping at the grocery store and buying things that are easy to fix. So quick fixes for when you stop along the road and need to make something fast. And believe it or not, it's actually faster to do that than it is to go into a fast food place. Sometimes they're not so fast anyway. And you know, we're talking about hamburgers that have gone so far up in price that it's no longer reasonable to even stop for hamburgers. It's outrageous too, you know, just the price of that. So we're going to be cutting it pretty close to the bone here. And the other thing too is camping fees. It's not unusual for us, for Linda and I, to go on a 6-week trip and only have 1 or 2 nights in a campground. And that's just because we wanted to use their shower or something like that. And then it'll be like a state park, or maybe in some states they're still reasonable, or BLM land or something. It won't be in a RV campground, because who can afford $65 a night? And that's a reasonable one these days. I know we can't afford it, but we're really fortunate out here in the West that we've got a lot of public land. I know that back east you just don't. There's ways around that too. But out here we've got land that we can go boondock on, and that's what we'll be doing on this trip. So many small towns have beautiful city parks, and a lot of them will let you camp overnight, just pulling up next to the curb. If you have doubts about it and you don't want to get a 2 a.m. knock on the door, call the sheriff. It's always best in whatever region you're at, if you have doubts about where to park and you need a place to stop for the night, that you just call the sheriff's office, give them a call and say, is it okay if I park next to the city park? We've done that many times in the past. Sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no, that's actually no parking zone, and sometimes they might add, but you can camp at the fairgrounds. And that's what you need to find out. So if you're in doubt about parking next to a city park, call the sheriff. By the way, when I said that we weren't stopping for meals, I meant like lunch and dinner. I wasn't talking about pie, just so we're clear on that. We just got to Idaho, and we're just off Highway I-15 and just out of southwest Montana into Idaho. And we just stopped at this National Forest campground. For an overnight stop, this is really nice. And it was only $6.50 with our what, America the Beautiful Pass, or whatever you call it. It's pretty nice. Hey, you know, the nice thing about traveling with a little trailer like this is basically all you got to do is back in, and that's it. If you're camping overnight, there's nothing else to do. Well, the one big thing I got to do, I have to install the water pump. Yeah, this should make a nice camp for the night. I don't hear any freeway noise. Freeway's on the other side of this mountain right here.
It's 6 in the evening, about 6-ish. It's a nice time to make camp when it's still got some light out and it's not cold yet. It's cool, but it's refreshing. And it's a nice, peaceful place.
Don't wait too late. This is better than racing around in the dark trying to find a camp spot. Linda says we're having pork for dinner. I think she's kidding.
No, I'm not.
Well, we're going to enjoy the nice, peaceful, quiet evening, and we'll see you in the morning. Well, it's a beautiful morning, bright sunshine, but you see, the problem with most campsites these days is they're all tucked back into the shade, where we're getting zero solar. Of course, we didn't think about that years ago when these campsites were built. Everybody wanted shade. It doesn't matter because we're about to hit the road anyway. We'll get plenty of sun while we're driving. Bring the batteries back up. We're leaving here, and here is Idaho, just above Du Bois, Idaho. We're just off I-15, and we're heading for the central part of Nevada, probably around the Ely, Nevada area, Elko, Ely, northern central. and that's where we're going to hang out for a while. You know, I was talking a lot about the expense of traveling right now. So what we're trying to do is do this trip really close to the bone and not spend anything we don't have to. We're going to take extra effort to save money on this trip, and what we're going to do is keep you posted on the actual costs. So periodically and over the next few videos, I'll tell you what it's actually costing us. So I'll give you some idea. The camp host stopped by last night just to introduce himself and to tell us what the rules were about generators and everything, and quiet times and trash and everything. You know, it was very nice, because the National Forest Service, they don't have people going around and taking care of those campgrounds very often, and they get trashed. This one is spotless. It's getting a little dusty in here, and I just cleaned this a couple of weeks ago. I'm just doing the morning thing, checking the serpentine belt and checking the oil level, and just making sure we're ready. We're not going to have any troubles on the road today. Well, the old car is using a little oil. We've got not very much. I used 1/4 of a quart yesterday, you know, and we drove all day yesterday, so it doesn't use too much. During a long trip, I might put in 1 quart over the course of the trip, but it's getting old, so it's running fine, not making any weird noises or anything, but I try to take care of it. One of these days, though, we're going to come up against an engine replacement, maybe a transmission replacement, maybe both. So we have to plan for that.
I guess it's morning. Yeah, hope you all had a nice night. We did. It's a nice, quiet campground. Well, not exactly quiet, because there's a lot of people going back to their outfits. But other than that, it was pretty nice. Peaceful night. Got to do some reading. Didn't have to cook. And this morning we're headed to, I guess, towards Nevada. And we'll see what the day brings.
Well, we left that beautiful little campground this morning up north of Du Bois, Idaho. It's between Du Bois and Monida Pass. And there's a bunch of beautiful places up there to camp. Right now, we just passed through Idaho Falls. Then there'll be Pocatello and then Twin Falls and down into Nevada, where we're heading. There's been many scenic byways that we could have taken this morning, and we could have turned off for the Craters of the Moon highway, which goes through the lava flows and everything. And Craters of the Moon has a nice, I think it's a state park in there also. But no, not this time. We're just trying to make miles, and we're just heading down I-15. So this is it. And one side of the freeway is blocked off, so it's down to a 2-lane here. It's under construction. So it's not all beautiful back roads. Some days we just got to make some miles.
Well, look at all the different outfits, right?
It's pretty representative what you see out there, because, well, here comes a pickup truck with an Airstream pulling in. To the right of him is a pickup camper pulling a cargo trailer. And then, of course, is a pickup truck pulling a horse trailer with a camper in the front of it. And then there's our beautiful little rig. And then there's a Class C. And then there's a Class A.
Class A towing a little car.
With a toad on the back. Pretty representative on how people travel these days. If all you have is a car, you can still get out and have a great time. You don't need to have a cargo trailer or a Class 3 or something like that to do road trips. And these days, you're better off with something that just gets better mileage. Well, this rest stop's a busy place. Coming through Idaho Falls, the gas is $3.94 a gallon, about 25 cents a gallon or more cheaper than back home. And we know that when we go into Nevada, it's going to go sky high. So there's that. Look at this beautiful place, and it is beautiful too. This is Gray's Landing, and we're only about a dozen miles north of Jackpot, Nevada. And we went a couple miles down this dirt road to find this spot. But we're leaving because it is swarming with flies.
All in there.
I know. They're all in the shady spots, all in the behind the dash and everything. I don't know, Linda. This is pretty bad. Yeah, it's just not worth it. You know, when it's that, it would be miserable. You wouldn't even be able to sit outside and enjoy the view here. So, well, we're just heading down this dirt road. Just looking for another spot, same area, but just see how this works out. It's 6 o'clock in the evening, so we're not going to be too particular. Mainly just a spot for overnight. Oh, and by the way, this is BLM land. Yeah, this is called Big Sandy Bay or something like that. So it's going to be sandy. We better watch out. Oh yeah, look at the sand out there. All right, we got to be careful here or we get stuck. I'm not going to go any further till we get out and check it out. I'm not seeing a place to camp because it's all sand over there and I'm not pulling out into that. I'm just going to find a place to turn around here and head back up. Yeah, it's pretty sandy down here. I think though that it's hard enough for me to turn around. So I'm going to turn around right here. And then there was another road that did a Y and it ended up on top of the bluff up here. We're going to try that out. Well, I did manage to get turned around.
Could feel the soft.
Yeah, I could feel it. And we just turned around on the other road where it dead ended. There was nothing. So,
See if we hit the jackpot.
we might hit jackpot. Because if we go to jackpot, at least we can stay behind the casino. Oh, the sagebrush smells nice. There must be 100 flies in that car right there. And they don't want to leave. You open the doors and everything, you chase them out, they fly right back in. I sprayed the inside of the car with a camp fogger and it was killing some flies, but others were like, they didn't care. And they just still buzzing around in there. Yeah, we've chickened out. We've decided that even though this is a beautiful spot, these flies are too much. We're out of here. We might just go down and stay behind the casino in Jackpot. How's the look out there?
Looks okay. Peaceful, quiet. No neighbors.
Well, this is home for the evening. It'll do. I can hear highway noise. The highway's about a half mile that way. It should quiet down later this evening. We're about 3 or 4 miles south of Jackpot, Nevada, off of Highway 93, and just found this lonely spot. We had to open one BLM gate, and that's not a problem. As long as you know it's BLM land on the other side, you just make sure you close the gate behind you. That's all there is to it. And that's all we did. And no flies. Well, we're done for the day. It was a travel day, but we're in Nevada now. We can slow down and start taking it easy. So we'll see you in the morning. We had a really peaceful night. And after such a busy day yesterday and a lot of driving, yeah, we needed that. I'm just stretching my legs a little bit and working out the kinks before I go back and make some cowboy coffee. So last night when we went to bed, opened up the trailer door and there had to be, I don't know, 50 or more flies on the ceiling of the trailer. And it turned into this epic battle, almost like good against evil, where we battled flies for, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes before we got them all cleared out of the trailer. I think that's a dung beetle. And what do I have here? Oh, you know what that is? That's a piece of obsidian. And that was used in making arrowheads and knives and stuff. Just a leftover fragment. Probably from Oregon. Up above here, there's so much obsidian in Oregon. Well, there's a trail of obsidian flakes going up through this cut. It'd be interesting to see, just to kind of follow it. It's probably just an ancient trail, travel route, but I'll have to see what Linda wants to do today. She might want to move on. I know we wanted to get down around the Ely area into the juniper forest. It's so pretty down there. But we'll see if she wants to spend another day here or not. But it's still really buggy, so Linda and I are going to head down a little further into Nevada and get up a little higher and see what it's like in the forest down that area. Well, we arrived in the Ely, Nevada area last night, and it's nice down here. It's warmer, which was the idea of this trip, yeah, wasn't it? To extend summer.
Yeah.
Montana's sliding into winter. Anyways, we wanted to give you an update on the costs so far, because that's what this video has been all about, is still being able to get out and travel. What'd you come up with?
Let's see. I actually had to do math for you folks. We've gone a total of 832 miles.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, at a cost of about $290 in fuel cost. And we've paid in camp fees for 3 nights, $13.
Not bad. And how many miles to the gallon did we get? Do you have that?
11.88.
Oh, not bad. All close to 12 miles to the gallon. Anyways, that's the way it's been so far.
Yeah.
So we'll keep you posted on the cost of travel. I don't think that's too bad. So we're about $300. We're about 4 days into the trip, but we're down here now to where we're not on the road every day. Now we're going to be just kind of venturing out and doing hikes and things like that. So, hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, like, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe. We'll see you around.